Each afternoon, real setups are broken down with entry strategies and the technical reasoning behind every trade. This is today's best trade setups with Verified Investing.
Welcome to today's best trade setups. My name is Benjamin Poole, head trader here at verifiedinvesting.com. The CPI data came in better than expected, which is why we had a really big sell-off in the 10-year yields, as well as the DXY. That's getting a little bit of a lift in the markets. Now, not all of the stock market is heading higher. We have stocks like IBM, huge drawdowns, as well as Oracle. So let's go ahead and get into some support and resistance levels. The first one I'm going to show you, or the first chart, is the 10-year yield. Here's an upswing trend line that we're monitoring. Pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit, ton of price consolidation. What I was anticipating is price action, or the 10-year yield, to hit up to 4.688. This was going to be the resistance level. However, the CPI came in better than expected, which is why we're getting that drawdown now. Here's the support level at 4.556. If we stay above this level, as you can see, it was resistance. We got above it. This is your support level on the 10-year yield. If we start pushing up, 4.688 is the next level of resistance. And now let's take a look at the DXY. We're actually putting in a nice bull flag on the DXY. So what I mean by a bull flag is you've got this nice big up move, sideways consolidation right above support. So a couple different ways this thing can play out. If we drop below 100.514, then all of a sudden it opens the door for a further sell-off. But because it's this support and creating this nice bull flag, we could see another move to the upside. And my next upside target is 101.983. Now, the SPY, we're getting a little bit of a bid this morning. Look at that sell-off yesterday. Great support level, nice bid to the upside. So for me, my max upside today would be $754.78. That was where the S&P 500 or the SPY should get a nice reversal off of. If it does start closing above that on a 15-minute closing basis, then all of a sudden it opens the door for a nice move up. And then for me, my next level of resistance is going to be $757.10. Nice gap in the charts. SOXX, we still have this head and shoulders pattern. Now, on the SOXX, we haven't actually broken this head and shoulders pattern. So here we have a left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. This was the support level yesterday, $551.69. Look at that bid that it got to the upside off of some pretty good news. Got up to this previous gap this gap in the charts at $581, just below that, and getting a little bit of a rejection. Because we've already gotten a rejection off of that level, my next upside move for me to be shorting the SOXX would be $590. 590 Pierce, previous gap in the charts, red bar candle high, or at the body of it. This would be my rejection level for a move up today, $589.94. The QQQ is pushing higher. So for me, I've got this previous gap in the charts, $725.17. Again, look at this gap in the charts that it filled yesterday, $711.44. So if we get this nice move to the upside, $725.17. And then I've got a secondary resistance level, down sloping trend line, pivot top here, price consolidation right on this trend line, came back below, came back up and retested it. So if it does close above this low or this previous gap in the charts, could head up a little bit higher at around 725.60. This is my resistance zone for the trade on the QQQ today, knowing I've got this down sloping trend line as additional resistance. If it does close above 725.17 on a 15-minute closing basis, I would look to stop out. And then this is the one I'm eyeing over the next few days to see what the Qs actually do. If we can break above these levels, then this is the resistance level that I'd be interested in swing trade shorting the QQQ. Microsoft, not really a whole lot going on. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. Shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. We broke above it, but we never made a continuation move. So here's what I want to see. I want us to get back above this down sloping trend line, basically the neckline. Price action to get back above this high pivot point at 793, and then we can play this on a retrace. But right now, this down sloping trend line or the neckline is still capping price action. So we're going to need a clear break of that down sloping trend line, before we can get another push to the upside. ARM, what a sell-off today. So ARM is trading decently lower, getting a decent bounce already. It did get as low as $278.76. Here was your low pivot from yesterday that I was eyeing. Because we've already flushed that level, if we can recapture that, this low pivot is going to then become support. And so what I'd be looking for is price to consolidate right underneath it, get back above it, and that is the opportunity to start going long on ARM. If we continue the flush, here's this low pivot or this green bar candle open around $266.72. Over the next few days, $256.73 is that level that I would be looking to get into ARM for a long play. And this could be a potential day trade opportunity, but also getting into a key support level for a potential swing. ORCL, I was mentioning that we could see a close below this upswing trend line. We have a pivot low here, secondary hit, third hit. What I really liked about this upswing trend line was the fact that it took from April 2025 all the way to April 2026 to retrace. Now we came back in for the second time after this huge move to the upside. So I thought we were going to have a lot of support, but price consolidated right on top of it a little bit too long. And so my thesis was incorrect. Now all of a sudden we're getting this nice flush out. And then my next level of support is going to be 127, which is this gap in the charts that hit actually in the pre-market. So here is starting to get a little bit more interesting for a long play as well for a swing trade, even though it's already flushed this level. I was anticipating a little bit of a close below that, but I did not anticipate this huge fall. So on ORCL, that's about a 6.55% move to the downside. If we start closing below this gap in the charts at 127.24, all of a sudden it opens the door for continued selling pressure. It could drive it all the way down to about $118.91. Again, secondary and third area of support at 127.24 all the way down to 118.91. If it does close below that, we have to identify where the next level of support is. Look at all of this price consolidation on ORCL. 106.33 is that next support level on the chart of ORCL if these two support levels or two additional support levels do fail. IBM, wow, it is trading significantly lower in the pre-market, during the market hours. It got as low as $213.28. Here's this low pivot on IBM. So IBM did warn that their earnings were going to be subpar, which is actually a weird statement, subpar. You want to be subpar when you're golfing, but not anywhere else. $212.34 is that long level today. If we can drop into that level, I would love to pick this up for a day trade. Again, 212.34. If we do start closing below that, identifying next support levels, look at these two low pivots at $203.82. And then ultimately, I love a $200 Pierce at $198.75. And that would be more for a swing trade. And look at from the all-time highs at $233. That would be about a 40% drawdown. So you got to think that there were a ton of people who were into this trade, got rejected, exited their trade. And then once it finally pushed to the upside, once it gets back into sub $200, they're eyeing this for a potential long play. DELL is pushing higher today. Look at this. So not only you have this wide range green bar candle, but you have another red bar candle that followed it. So if price action gets up to 465.80, Dell is looking like a great short trade today, and that would be for a day trade scalp. If it does close above that on a 15-minute closing basis, or if a 15-minute bar, let's switch to the 15-minute time frame. If this red bar candle closes above $465.80, that is where I'd exit the trade. Now, MU is not really doing a whole lot. I mean, it's up a little bit today, but just minorly. Some of the other stocks are getting a much bigger bids to the upside, but from this low pivot, it's only about a 9% move to the upside. Here's that support level on the way down at $891.88. That is the level that I'd be looking to potentially get into this if we get a continued fade. On the short side today, the only real level I have would be sitting right here at $1,016.50. 0.18, and that's my shortable level on MU today. LATE, let's restore that connection. I was really anticipating another bid to the upside today. We got above this low pivot or this previous gap in the charts at $817.24. I'm still eyeing this resistance level right here. Look at all of this price consolidation. Ton of it in this area. So $850.06 is that first level of resistance. And then just above it, you have $858.06 for a potential add to that position on LITE. If it does start closing above that on a 15-minute closing basis, I would go ahead and look to stop out of the trade. All right. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do have a crypto show that's going on air at 1:30. You guys don't want to miss this. DZ is really well-versed in the crypto world. Even if you guys don't like crypto or don't trade it, he's going to go over some great technicals that you guys don't want to miss. And please make sure you're hitting that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. And then ring that bell so you get notified when these videos drop. And we'll see you next time in the charts. You guys have a great rest of your day. Take care.